Tell me, Susan, about the project.
Okay, so this is our palimpsest of faded texts. The community has been working at this for about a month, the month of June, and it started with walking and drawing trails. So going up Lent Lane, going up John Street, going over to the park, bringing our drawing materials with us and looking for inscriptions, messages, any kind of letter forms, old, new, and some of those messages we found were institutional messages. And we also wanted to see, you know, who gets to say what in the town. Okay, so as we walked, we were very conscious of who gets space to, you know, ask questions or to inscribe their identity onto the space. Okay, so I'll give you an example. For example, over at the bandstand, we went over there and we found a lot of questions. We found a lot of questions from young people about who they are, finding out their place in life, and a lot of this is about world making. So it's about, some of this is about, you know, who am I? Okay, working out who you are. And we also found poems on Walton Street and Cavan Street. That was at the intersection. We found a question about what about non-binary. That was over in the bandstand. We also found a lot of world making, like the world that they want to live in. So love forever. Then we also found some information like specifications, orders, more encrypted information about, you know, specialized people would know what these symbols are. And so basically the community has gathered these drawings, photographs, rubbings, and they've sent them in. And so starting on Thursday, Friday and Saturday, we've been really busy wheat pasting all of this information, all of these inscriptions, letter forms onto the fountain. Okay, so I look at this more as a temporary installation. It's a place where all of the wishes, ambitions, orders are coming together into this semi-formal Tower of Babel. Okay, because you got to appreciate who gets space to put their text in the environment. Okay, so basically by collecting this in this kind of literal square mile area and focusing it on the fountain, it turns into this palimpsest of faded texts.
No, very good explanation. They is there anything goes?
What do you mean anything goes? Like
for images that are on it? In other words, stoner.
It's more about literal letters. It's more about, you know, where is our culture in response to the letter forms and how we express ourselves through letter forms. Okay, so it's more about, you can have symbols in it, all right, because symbols, if you think about it, symbols are translated into meaning. Okay, so if you look at letters, basically letters of our alphabet are symbols that we as a society all agree that we understand what they mean. Okay, but yeah, no, anything goes. I wouldn't kind of agree with that. You want a certain amount of like, what are young people asking? What are they worried about? Who gets to say what in the space? Is it predominantly, like when we look at our environment, is it predominantly open that we can, you know, put our meaning on it through text, or is it shut down? Okay, so again, you gotta look at who is telling you what, how are they speaking to you, how are they expressing themselves. And so when you get this together, it is a giant coming together of different voices. Yeah.
Now, if I can, and as I say, this will be the last, and you've been great with the explanation. If I can ask, a few people have come to me saying that there's one word on there that's drawn attention, some negativity, if I can say.
Right.
And I don't want to say the word, but I mean, like,
it's somewhere around here.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, literally, I mean, again, the submissions are, if you look at it this way, some of these inscriptions are from the bandshell, okay? Some of these are inscriptions we'll find as we walk along John Street, okay? They are there, okay? We really can't choose to ignore them. But yeah, there's, you know, you would hope that you get a balance between the voices as opposed to just offending people.
Okay. Debbie, tell me about the artwork that's being created today. Tell me about where the idea came from and things like that.
Well, the idea came from our artist in residence, Susan Campbell, who's been with us for the month of June, and it's really been like a community-driven project. You know, she's engaged the community, all ages, to go on walks with her and collect different like text and typology from the surrounding area around the little station downtown, and then invited them back. So she's kind of transformed that work and made them into like black and white images. So people submitted photographs, or they took rubbings, or like drew different signs that they saw, and then we invited them back to come and like help wheat paste them onto the fountain here. So this is an all organic natural process with like flour and water. It's a temporary installation that will be up probably until the end of September, unless weather, you know, has other plans in mind. But wheat paste does love water and rain. It kind of seals that and creates little shells. So this is with us, and what we really love about this initiative is that it includes voices from the community. There's a lot of diversity and inclusivity about like whose voices get to be heard. And you know, I think that Susan, what she does really well is she kind of contests space and you know, has us slow down, take our time, and really consider the spaces that we're in and our relation to that, what these messages mean, who they're coming from, and then we've kind of compiled them into a map of sorts that, you know, the community gets to decide how the messages speak to each other, whose voices are important. So from youth to authority, to artists, commemorating a long lost friend, an avid gardener, children's drawings to save the trees. These are all voices from Port Hope, and they were collected by the Port Hope community and then compiled in a map by the community with Susan's guidance. So it's been a really wonderful project.
Extremely unique.
Yeah.
And art is about interpretation, and it's done that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, there's been a little bit of discussion around, you know, what is art, and is this beautiful? Is it interfering with a historic monument? But this is art, it's text, it's symbols that we're in town, and we're creating a temporary installation that includes those voices of other community members. So we're giving everybody a chance to kind of have their identity known, have their voice heard, and to be involved.